Can you join and see if you can see me?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hare Krishna. This Zoom is only for Farmington Hills devotees.
Yes, sir. It's good.
So exam paper is ready. You all want to start with the exam? Yes. So we have NOD review in two parts. We are covering 13 chapters today and 6 chapters on Saturday. Those 6 chapters are more dense, has lot more concepts than these 13 chapters. They are completely new. These are many things many of you may know. So okay. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhuttale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namene Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshvadi Paschati Pushata जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So there, this Nectar of Devotion, this book has total 51 chapters. This book has 4 waves. Four corners. There is a, if you see here, it has 4 divisions. There is a eastern division, and then there is a southern, western, and northern division. And each division has many waves. Like, like a particular ocean has so many waves coming. So likewise, this it's called a nectar of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sindhu means ocean. So this ocean of bhakti is very deep. And this ocean, ocean has 4 sides. And anywhere you stand, a lot of waves are coming. So likewise, we are only discussing one side, which is the eastern side. Western, southern, and northern is out of syllabus. So we only cover 19 chapters in this course, and that's all is required for our second initiation. The other 31 chapters, how many? 32 chapters. Total 50. Yeah, yeah. And around 19 only we do. The remaining 32 chapters is when you come to a higher standard like Atul Krishna Prabhu, Ram Shraddha Prabhu, then you can read. I'm not qualified to read those chapters. They are very advanced topics. They are like Rupa Goswami's very deep tattva is there. I tried reading those chapters and I could not understand anything. After 15-20 years of practice, still I could not understand a word. I'm like, this is the level of those chapters. But first 19 only we will cover. In those 19 also, as we go to the later part of 19 chapters, is like, this is such a depth book. Rupa Goswami is, this book is like the, Rupa Goswami is called, um, um, we are called Rupa Nugas. Rupa Nuga means follower of Rupa Goswami. Because Rupa Goswami has told us how to practice bhakti. And primarily through this book. This is like the Sanam Bonam bolte hai na? Like the most important writing, Tattva of Rupa Goswami is Nectar of Devotion. So just so much deep. So eastern side has 4 waves. So the first wave is the first chapter. It is called Samanya Bhakti. The second wave has 12 chapters. It is called Sadhana Bhakti. Then the third wave, not the second wave has 15 chapter. The third wave has 2 chapter. It is called Bhava Bhakti. And the fourth wave has 1 chapter. It is called Prema Bhakti. So 1 chapter, then 15 chapters, 2 chapters, and last 1 chapter. So there are total 19 chapters in the eastern wave. And the remaining waves, I don't know. When you all come to know, then let me know also what happens in the other waves. So are we good with introduction? This teachings is given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Srila Rupa Goswami in Dasheshwamedha Ghat for 7 days. And then based on that, Rupa Goswami wrote this book. So the basis is Mahaprabhu's teachings. Okay. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the original teacher of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has total 2,129 verses. And what we read is actually a summary. Just like you saw Krishna book. So Krishna book is like in form of stories. But if you see Bhagavatam, it is in form of verses. Likewise, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is in form of verses. Rupa Goswami wrote Nectar of Instruction. They are all only 11 verses, so we can understand. We can go in more detail. But Nectar of Devotion is even more deeper verses and 2,129 verses. So Srila Prabhupada gave a summary or study of it. This book is Ocean, 4 division, Eastern and remaining, Western, Southern, Northern. Eastern division has 4 waves, Samanya Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Then this book is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is Rasa? The force that drives everyone to work hard is called Rasa. What is Rasa? The force that makes one work very hard. That is Rasa. Can you think about some rasas in this world? Money is a rasa, makes people work very hard. Then some attachments, I want to buy this, get, or some attachments makes people work very hard. So what is Bhakti Rasa? Is a force of bhakti which makes one work very hard for Krishna. And that rasa is like an ocean. So this is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Is the name clear? The word Bhakti Rasa, there is mundane rasa and there are various rasas. Bhakti Rasa, Amrita, it is like a nectar. Other rasa is like nectar in the beginning, poison in the end. But this is eternal nectar, keeps on increasing. And it is like an ocean. So that's how this book got the name Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Then what is the definition of pure devotional service? See, everything on this, 80% of it you have to write in your exam. Yeah, printout milega. I'll give you the copy also. But you have only 15 minutes after the discussion to prepare before you write an exam. Everything, the desire is to finish everything before 8:15 with the exam. So that's right. हाँ नहीं एग्जाम सब खत्म That's why I divided the exam into 2 parts. It was one exam. I made one exam today because if I ask you to write on this next week, I know what will happen. Easily I thought rather let me have devotees write it today only questions related to this. So even if you forget, I have satisfaction you all have written fast. Okay. So what is the definition of pure devotional service? Anya abhilashita shunyam. This is a definition by Rupa Goswami. Abhilash means desire. Anya abhilash means other desire. Shunya means zero. If somebody says, okay, tell me about pure devotional service, then there are 4 characteristics of pure devotional service. No other desire other than serving Krishna. That is Anya abhilashita shunyam. Jnana karma anavritam, which is free from jnana and karma. What is jnana? Gyan means working for knowledge, and karma means working for things not related to Krishna. But we also work, na? We all work for Krishna. I mean, it's hard for all of us to come here. So, Jnana Karma Anavritam means which is free from knowledge, desire to accumulate knowledge, and not connected to Krishna, like studying the Vedas or things which are not connected to Krishna, or desiring to work for something which is not related to Krishna. So pure bhakti is free from anything other than trying to do for the pleasure of Krishna. Anything done not for the pleasure of Krishna takes us outside of the zone of pure bhakti, although it can be mixed bhakti. Clear? Anya Bilashita Shunya Jnana Karma Navritam Anukulina Krishnanu. And Anukul means has to be favorable to Krishna. Anukul. Opposite of Anukul is Pratikul. And then the last is Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Shilanam means following the footsteps of previous teachers, like how Srila Prabhupada practiced, how they practiced. So, Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. 16 minutes later. कहाँ से लेना है पेपर पेन कुछ भी नहीं About paper pen I'm not going to pay. Like paper. All the papers we have from Prabhuji has some. Example of paper. Prabhuji has paper. Then you have 20%.
20%.
Because of one we got late.
No personal discussions here. अब chair ले आओ बस थोड़ा. Okay. So Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. Shilanam means following the previous teachers. How our spiritual master practice bhakti? By seeing their example we are practicing. This is the definition of pure devotional service. So these are the 4 points: no material desire, free from unnecessary gyan and karma, favorable to Krishna, and following previous acharyas. So any question on any? Yes, she got a very good marks on Ishopanishad. She's chanting 12, right? 12 rounds.
Why not 16?
That is Shilanam. Shilanam means following previous acharyas. Bhakti acharyas. Then there are 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. The first characteristic, this is all Samanya Bhakti. This is all from first chapter. We are still discussing the invocation because many questions will come just from the first chapter. Everything in this is supremely important. Anything you are discussing. Otherwise, out of 200 pages, we are discussing only 3 pages, and that's all is required. Okay. The next 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. The first characteristic is bring immediate relief from material distress. And how it brings immediate relief, try to understand the explanation of each one of those. You may want to remember what are the 6 characteristics, and you should be able to explain these characteristics in your own words. Explain them also. So the first characteristic is bring immediate relief from material distress. How? Because there is a cycle of sin. Try to remember the cycle of sin. Cycle of sin begins with ignorance. Ignorance means we don't our forgetfulness of who we are. And then when we forget who we are, then that leads to sinful desire. Sinful desire leads to sinful action. Example of sinful desire, like common example, is a thief. A thief may think, I want to steal. So what is that desire will lead to? I want to steal. Then he will plan, and finally he will go and he will try to steal. So sinful desire lead to sinful action. If you see, before any sinful reaction comes a sinful desire. I want to do something which may be wrong, but I have a desire to do it. And that will lead to action. Then sinful action will lead to unmanifest reaction. The moment the sin is performed, a reaction is installed within our heart, which may come later. For example, a person who stole the bank, he may feel like, okay, I got the money, I am free, nobody caught me. But then after some time, he may be put into the jail. So when the sinful action is produced, a reaction is immediately created, but it may not be manifest right away. So that is called unmanifested reaction. For example, many sufferings we may be going through tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Why those suffering are coming? Because of some previous sinful action. But it is not manifest, it may manifest tomorrow. Clear? So sinful action leads to unmanifest reaction. Unmanifest reaction leads to manifest reaction. Whatever suffering I am going through today is what has manifested from my past. Unmanifestation. And this also feed the sinful disposition. If I do a wrong thing, then I will have a stronger desire to do the same wrong thing again. And that sinful disposition will again lead to a stronger desire. Disposed means I have like sinful inclination. I'm inclined to do certain thing which is not good. And then now I am desiring to do. Now I am doing. Now I am suffering for it. And now I have a stronger desire to do it again. So this sinful action leads to increased sinful disposition, and whatever unwanted desire we have is because of this loop. You understood the loop? Understood the circle? How sinful action, sinful desire, sinful action, unmanifested, manifested reaction, sinful disposition, again sinful action. Disposition or inclination, like for example, I mean, it's not sinful, but it's like if there is a cheesecake in front of me, then I may be inclined, let me eat it, right, Jyoti Mata? She's our cheesecake cook. It's actually very famous in Krishna comedy center. Cheesecake. So sinful inclination is, I have an inclination, means I'm favorably disposed toward cheesecake. It's not a sin, it's Mahaprasad. Okay, simple example. Sinful desire means I want to go to Krishna Community Center to get a cheesecake. So now that desire has come. Inclination is given a chance, I'm inclined, I'm favorable to it. Desire means now I want it. Action is I'm eating it. And what is the unmanifest reaction? There is no reaction to it. Manifest reaction, maybe some diabetes may come, some, you know, some unhealthy, indigestion may come. And then disposition is now I have tasted it. Now next time I am hungry, I have a stronger inclination because I've tasted it once. So anything wrong we do, manifested is diabetes. Unmanifested means I no, sugar. Yeah. In a way, I've eaten it and I feel like nothing happened to me. And I'm eating it. But nothing is manifesting. But after maybe 20 years of age, I suddenly have raised diabetes. It is manifest. Unmanifested means everything is still okay. That's fine. It's okay to do it. Uh, all right, clear? The cycle of sin. And any question on cycle of sin? You all can remember all the items of the cycle, and then how devotional service bring a relief to this, because the root cause of the whole cycle is ignorance. If I know that who enjoys when I eat cheesecake, only the false ego enjoys, and I am actually part and parcel of the Lord. It's not my real need, it's my mind, it's my senses demand of my mind, demand of my senses, and they are overtaking me. I am becoming a godas. So it's like when I'm getting that knowledge, and when I'm on a spiritual platform, when the ignorance is removed, and I'm thinking on a spiritual platform, then I won't have that desire. So how bhakti brings relief from material distress? It stops the cycle of sin because the ignorance is removed. All these actions is the root cause of sinful desire is ignorance. And Krishna consciousness just breaks our identity from this material existence. And that's how, see, we all may be doing many wrong things before, no? Some of you may be eating maybe flesh, mostly nobody, but you may be eating. But then when you came to know, now you don't eat. So it's like because of knowledge, the sinful desire and action is cut off. So whatever reaction was coming from it, it's now cut off. So we've got a relief. And slowly, when we are fully convinced, then all the sinful actions are cut off. We have four regulative principles. Why? Because we know they are wrong. Previously, we were breaking some of them, but we have no idea this is wrong or right. Everybody is doing so. I can also do it. But now we know. So how knowledge is breaking it? Huh?
Drinking wine is affection.
This is clear how the first characteristic of pure devotional services bring immediate relief from material distress. And why material distress comes? Because of, the material distress is coming because of it's a reaction, cycle of sin. And how to break it, how pure devotional service breaks that, because it cuts that ignorance. Then um, there is a quote also. This is from Bhagavatam. Rupa Goswami describes, and Devahuti says, even a dog eater can perform Brahmanical activities. Actually, like worship of the deities. Actually, worship of the deities only Brahmanas can do. But then here we are also doing deity worship. So it's quite surprising. If we go back 15, 20 years before, can you imagine you will be worshipping Radha and Krishna in the temple? But you can imagine. So how is it possible that we are sitting here discussing? None of us could have imagined. So what has happened? And Devahuti says, even if one has very bad past, but because he is engaged in chanting and remembering, he becomes qualified. So see, whatever bad we are doing is actually is a reaction from our past, but that is nullified, and that's why we're able to do what we are not entitled to do in this life, basically. Okay, then the second characteristic of pure devotional service, it is a beginning of all auspiciousness. Everything becomes auspicious when a person start to practice devotional service. And how it is all auspicious? First thing is it attracts everyone. Even an animal is benefited. That's why it is all auspicious. Even a tree is benefited. The Prabhupada says even a child can take part in Krishna consciousness. Anybody comes to temple, anybody meets a devotee, everything, anybody sees a tilak, everything is auspicious, Krishna consciousness. So that's how it's all auspicious, and it bestows all good qualities. Actually, there are many more points. Since this is very summary, it bestows all good qualities. If you see, Srimad Bhagavatam says, by bhakti, all the good qualities of demigod becomes in us. How many of you had anger problem in the past?
No one's not.
How many of you have anger problem 15, 20 years before and significantly reduced?
Reduce हो गया.
I mean, I'm not saying you have attained perfection, but see how good qualities are developing. Okay, then then the third point is puts one in transcendental pleasure. And the example, like pure devotional service immediately puts one in transcendental pleasure. You may be very distressed, you all may have experienced very distressed, and then you sit and start chanting, and suppose on that day you can absorb in chanting. How does it feel? You feel like all the anxiety is gone and you start taking shelter of the Lord. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling Lord Nrsingadev, I emerge in an ocean of bliss in your presence. I consider Brahmananda insignificant like water in a hoofprint of cow. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling Nrsingadev, I emerge in an ocean of bliss in your presence. What is happening? Nrsingadev appears in front of Prahlad Maharaj. And what is he telling? By your sitting here, I am merged in an ocean of bliss. Prabhu, hand do chair. Good. Can you all write a commentary on how it is all auspicious? Can you write a commentary on how it really give relief from material distress? And can you write a commentary on how it puts one in transcendental pleasure? Can you write a quote? See, this is what Bhagavatam says. So that's a proof that bhakti puts one in transcendental pleasure. See, everything that we are discussing here very attentively. Otherwise, everything you lose 1 marks. That much condensed it is. So exhausting. But अगर आपको एक दिन में पूरा एनओडी मिल रहा है तो फायदा ही है, भले एग्जॉस्टिंग हो. ठीक है. Pure devotional service puts one in transcendental pleasure. What is the proof? Can you give an shastric explanation that shows that pure devotional service puts one in transcendental pleasure?
Dhruva Maharaj, when he saw Lord Vishnu, he said, I was begging for
Uh,
glass cases.
yeah. Excellent. Yeah, there are many quotes actually for all these points.
One, just like example, here, Rupa Goswami says that when the thorn is pricks in my foot in Vrindavan, that gives me more pleasure than the pleasure in Brahman. Living Vrindavan.
Only from Bhagavad.
On preaching in the.
Only from Bhagavad.
No, anyway, but I have put just one because it is summary and I wanted just 2-page document for first 13 chapters. That's why. But if you read in detail, you will see many quotations for each point. But if you can just write one example, Shastrically. So if suppose you go out and your Bhakti Shastri means, you know what the Shastri means? We say Shastri ji hai to. Learned, knowledgeable. So Bhakti Shastri means we can ask this person, if your Bhakti Shastri certificate means, we can ask this person any question about Bhakti and they will be able to answer. For preaching purposes, hai na? So they have Bhakti Shastri degree. They have done the course. So if somebody says Bhakti puts us in transcendental pleasure, And then immediately we should be able to quote, see, this is what Bhagavatam says here. This is what this is. That's the idea of Rupa. Another thing, Rupa Goswami is not explaining something which is not Shastric. So after he makes a point, he gives references, see. But he's presenting in a very understandable, in a very practical way. And that's what Mahaprabhu taught. That's how Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is presenting it, corroborating with Shastras. Clear? The three characteristics. Everyone faces is looking like, क्या हो रहा है? Then the fourth is rarely achieved. Pure devotional service is very rarely achieved. Those who are practicing for some time, you can ask them how much bhakti have they achieved. The answer will be beginning only. So pure devotional service is rarely achieved. And why it is rarely achieved? Because it brings Krishna under control. And Krishna doesn't want to be controlled easily. Do you want to be controlled?
Now,
Uh,
if somebody is doing, definitely, without saying, we become right.
but otherwise we are afraid of otherwise we are afraid of being controlled, no? So Krishna also doesn't want anyone to control him. But when he gives pure devotion to somebody, then whatever they say, Krishna has to do. And that's why Krishna, if you ask Krishna for wealth, like Vasana Maharaj was mentioning, if a child asks mother for a toy, take it, no problem. But if the child wants mother, then mother will come. If the child wants toy, then she will give toy and she will continue doing her work. So likewise, if you ask Krishna, then Krishna, all right, he wants me. But if you say, Krishna, I want these things, fine. So Krishna doesn't care. Krishna will just give it to you. Krishna can give anything easily. But you say, Krishna, I want you, I want to live with you, become your associate, and Krishna, oh, okay. So it's really achieved. Then deride even the concept of liberation. Devotional service, one who develop pure devotional service, they hate the concept of liberation. Liberation may be attractive, but for one who has experienced bhakti, those people hate it. And the example is Kolavecha Sridhar was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I will give you Brahmananda, I will give you all the yogic siddhis, I will give you I'll fulfill all your material desires. Kolavecha Sridhar was distasteful towards any of these things. He said, my Lord, just keep coming and steal my banana leaves and just give me a chance to associate with you and serve you in some way. So Kolavecha Sridhar was not attracted to anything fringe, but he wanted the association of Lord himself. So that's an example that pure devotional service derived even the concept of liberation.
Isn't Vaikuntha God association being with God?
Yeah.
Oh, then why didn't Sridhar want it if it was still God association?
Because he wanted Krishna only, not any incarnation of Krishna. Okay, then the last is it's the only means to attract Krishna, pure devotional service. Srimati Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohani. Actually, Krishna is not attracted to anything. Krishna is called Madan Mohan. Even the Cupid is attracted to Krishna. But Srimati Radharani is called Madan Mohan Mohini. Means she attract even Madan Mohan. So um, only Radharani can attract Krishna. And pure devotional service, whatever devotion we have is actually whatever Radharani's devotion, whatever devotion we have is actually manifestation of her devotion. When we render pure devotional service, it's Radharani's mercy. She is called Bhakti Devi, goddess of devotion. So she gives us pure devotional service. And when we do something pure devotional service, that is manifestation of Radharani within us. And Krishna is attracted only to Srimati Radharani. So when he sees her manifestation within us, then Krishna is like, okay, what do you want? My Lord, do give him pure devotional service and free him from this is Krishna, all right. The Krishna becomes bound. But actually, certainly the pure devotees, they're completely pure. Then only pure devotional service comes. So they don't misuse Krishna. So pure devotional service is her Shakti, so it attracts even Krishna. So are we good with 6 characteristics of pure devotional service? Anyone who don't remember these 6 characteristics? And can you write at least two lines or one line about each of these characteristics? At least you have in your notes, then you can revise a little bit.
Same example in exam also.
Yeah. You just
Because we
have to.
don't-
Yeah. Any other example you write, if it is bona fide, no problem. You'll get the full marks. But we have to be explain it through scripture somewhere, either Chaitanya Charitamrita or Bhagavatam. We should be able to mention the points and we should be able to explain it at least in one line. The whole exam will be half an hour only. You have Yes, yes. Yes, Prabhu, yes. This is all wave one. We are actually doing the first chapter of NOD right now.
It's called Samanya.
It's Samanya Bhakti doesn't mean that it's ordinary Bhakti. Samanya Bhakti means it's pure devotional service. General information about Bhakti.
Just information.
Like what are the characteristics of pure devotional service? Just an introduction. This is we are discussing the Samanya Bhakti wave one. Now we are going to wave two. Okay, clear? So all that we need to remember in wave one mainly is the 6 characteristics of pure devotional service, how the cycle of sin happens, how Radharani comes into the picture of the 6 characteristics, some of the things that we discussed, the concept. If you don't remember how many verses, this no need, because that is just an introduction. But the main concept we should be able to grasp. Good? So far, what's your question?
So, it is only the wave one.
Yes.
This is wave one. Now we are going to, just like ocean shore, if you,
And it looks like we can't use notes, right?
we cannot use notes.
We
Yeah.
cannot know.
Yes. And you will have the documents with you for preparation. So it's up to you. But sometimes it's just for some people. Writing helps to remember one. Yeah. So that's the only. So just like how a shore has many waves coming. So likewise there is eastern shore, western, northern and southern. So we are discussing only eastern shore. That is the syllabus of nectar of this book, which is only first 19 chapters. Total there are 51 chapters. And in that shore also there are many waves. So Rupa Goswami has described 4 waves. So the first wave is Samanya, general understanding. The second wave is Sadhana Bhakti. The third wave is Bhava Bhakti. And the fourth wave is Prema Bhakti. So these 4 is part of NOD course. But today we are discussing only the wave, half of wave 2 we will cover. Remaining wave 2, wave 3 and wave 4 on Saturday with the exam. Okay. So now wave 2 Sadhana Bhakti. What is the definition of Sadhana Bhakti? Bhakti practice with senses which results in bhava. This is the simplest way anything can be defined. I mean, these are like just few words to give a clarity. What is Sadhana Bhakti? What is Sadhana Bhakti?
Gives rise to power.
So what is the goal of Sadhana Bhakti? Goal of Sadhana Bhakti?
Bhava.
Bhava. And what is Sadhana Bhakti? If somebody says, what is Sadhana Bhakti?
Following the regulations. Using our
Arey,
senses to atone the
Ah.
power state.
Using, engaging your senses to serve Krishna. That is Sadhana Bhakti. Everything else is an explanation of what are the ways to use our senses to serve Krishna. But the definition of sadhana bhakti, engaging your senses to serve Krishna, whether to see, to use the mouth to chant, to use the ears to hear, to render physical service, whatever it may be, to water tulsi, to wear kanthimala, to put tilak. We will see the various ways bhakti is rendered, but use your senses, connect them with Krishna. And if you keep doing that, it will give rise to bhava. That is general definition of sadhana bhakti. Clear? Okay. Then there are 2 type of sadhana bhakti. There is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and there is Raganuga sadhana bhakti. Raganuga sadhana bhakti, on Saturday we discuss. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti complete we discussed today. So what is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti? The definition of Vaidhi Bhakti is motivation of sadhana is not taste but injunctions of Guru and Shastra. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti means I am doing it not because I like it. And what am I doing? I am engaging my senses to serve Krishna. I am doing it not because I like it. I am doing it because this is what Guru has told me. This is what Shastra has told. This is what Gita has told. This is what Bhagavatam has told me. So I am doing it. Not because I love doing it. How many love to chant? Please raise your hands who love to chant. If we don't love to chant and we are still chanting, why we are still chanting? Guru has told us, Shastra has told us, Mahaprabhu told us, Prabhupada told us, books have told us. So we are doing it. So this is sadhana bhakti, using our senses to serve Krishna. So what is the definition of sadhana bhakti? That give rise to bhava. That is sadhana bhakti. What is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti?
Motivation is by Guru and Shastra, but not taste.
Not taste. Okay, thank you. Then what is the qualification required to render sadhana bhakti?
No qualification needed, Prabhu.
Archana Priya Mataji is mentioning no qualification. Yeah, qualification is faith. If you ask anybody on the street, chant the holy name, what will they say? You keep chanting. Leave me alone. Done?
Thank you, Guru.
And if you ask anybody on the street, come to the temple, hear about the Lord, chant, will they do it? If they had faith, they will say, tell me more about it. I'll come. Those who are not faithful, they will not listen to you. Freedom from material desire is not required to start practicing bhakti. You don't need to be pure, but you need to have faith. All right, qualification for Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. The next is based on faith. There are three types of persons. There is Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. Now, let's understand the definition of Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama.
Uttama is also in Vaidhi? No.
Based on faith. No, I mean, Uttama Adhikari is not. Um, he can be Vaidhi also. He cannot be Vaidhi. He can be Sadhana Bhakta. He can be Raganuga Sadhana Bhakta also. Okay, it's a different topic. Not needed for this course, but you can ask me and I can explain. Okay, so what based on faith, there are three kinds of people. There is Kanishta, there is Madhyama, there is Uttama. Kanishta Adhikari, low faith, not much understanding of scriptures. Madhyama Adhikari, high faith, not much understanding of scriptures. Uttama Adhikari, high faith, full understanding of scriptures. We have somebody with Shraddha, Rama Shraddha Prabhu. Faith. Okay, what is that? Who is a Kanishta Adhikari? Weak faith, little knowledge. So if his faith is weak and somebody said this is all useless, why are you wasting your time going to Hare Krishnas? They will brainwash you. Then he will say, yeah, that's true. Actually, I should not go. So his faith is weak. His knowledge is also weak. He'll go away. Madhyama Adhikari, strong faith, but weak knowledge. If somebody argues Madhyama Adhikari, he may not be able to convince them. He may be defeated, but next day again he will chant his round. His faith is strong, but he may not argue and he may not win. He may not convince others. Uttama Adhikari, he can convince anybody. And his faith is also very strong. Obviously, Uttama Adhikari faith is here, Madhyama faith is here, and Kanishta faith is here. Good. Kanishta Adhikari is of four types. Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, and Jnani. Who are the four kind of people who come to Krishna? Distress in knowledge, some desires, inquisitive. So give an example of a person who came to Krishna out of knowledge. Who came to Krishna out of knowledge. Great. Otherwise, common example given is like four Kumaras, like they came to Krishna out of knowledge. They were going to Narayan because they know that we are not this body. They didn't went to Narayan to ask anything for any material desire. Give an example of somebody who came to Krishna out of distress. Draupadi is there. Gajendra is there. Anybody who approached Krishna um out of wealth. Dhruva. Somebody who came to Krishna out of inquisitiveness. The sage's name is Sharanya. They want to hear from Sutta Goswami and they are eager. Among four, who is the best? Gyani, the one in knowledge. Parikshit Maharaj will be considered
Inquisitive.
in
Jigyasa and Gyani? Jigyasa is inquisitive.
inquisitive.
And Gyani means?
Gyani means he knows. He is the major difference between Gyani and Jigyasu. Gyani is liberated already.
What purpose Gyan is?
But
purpose of
Gyani-
Gyan, goal, I want Gyan. That's why Gyan is.
Like he has no material desire, but he is approaching because he want to know God. But he doesn't understand Krishna is God. That's why.
Jigyasu means- Then Jigyasu means want to know more.
But they have material desire also. But they want to understand spiritual life. They have faith, but they are inquisitive.
Inquisitive, but their goal is not knowledge. They're just inquisitive, like, okay, what is this? Let me see.
They want to inquire about
Gyan's goal is knowledge.
curious. Yeah, curious. So difference between Gyani and Jigyasu. Gyani are liberated souls. Four Kumaras were liberated. Another example given of Gyani is Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami was liberated, but he was more of Brahman realized. He was not Bhagwan realized. Four Kumaras also Brahman realized.
Gyani won't go beyond Gyan.
They are liberated, but they're not devotees of Krishna. But they're approaching Krishna out of like, okay, let me explain.
He narrated Bhagavatam, right? And how is he just Gyani?
He was Gyani because when he came out of the womb, he was not attracted to anything material. But he was already liberated soul. But when he heard Bhagavatam, one line, he's like, who wrote this?
Okay. Till that he heard it, then he spoke.
And then he heard from Vyasadeva, then he spoke later on. He heard it from Vyasadeva, and then he spoke to Maharaj Parikshit. First he heard it, but by birth he was liberated soul. So main difference from Gyani and Jigyasu, but why they're all called Kanishta Adhikari?
Then probably comes to the birth of Sukadev Goswami. So he came out for 13 years.
Yeah.
13 years because he was saying that as soon as I'll come outside from my own,
Yes.
he wanted the assurance. And then he got the assurance from the Lord himself. So he knew that he is the supreme personality of God.
So he was just liberated, and he was not attracted. By hearing about Krishna's pastimes, he became attracted. But otherwise, he was not eager for. Vyasadeva is telling, I will tell you. I have nothing to do with my father and mother. He was liberated. But when he heard somebody was speaking, then he heard Bhagavatam from. Alright. Actually, he is a pure devotee. He's spirit of Radharani. But he manifested in this way and then came back to his original way. That's like the point of Guru comes into picture, and although he's liberated, and he again got back what he already
Jigyasu can have material desire.
can have material desire.
Gyani will not have material desire. They don't want anybody.
No. Like Sukadev Goswami. Four Kumaras were what they asked? Procreate. What did they say?
No.
Sorry, sir. No, don't want to get entangled. But then they were not, but they did have faith in Narayan. So why they are called Kanishta, they are all four called Kanishtadhikari. Why? Their faith in Krishna is not there. None of them have Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead initially. That's why they are called four type of Kanishtadhikari. But it doesn't mean that Sukadev Goswami is Kanishta. Matlab for them, Kanishta Uttama is like a chutki. So like that it can be said. We are Kanishta. But for them, Kanisha Uttama is like this. For us, Kanisha Uttama is like stay on this state for something.
No other characters like relative or she.
Yeah, not in this syllabus, although they're all two also. Matter of instruction Prabhupada says. Their faith in deity is not in devotee.
This Jnani mean, I think little knowledge, main knowledge which Jnani wants is like knowledge of Vedas.
Jnani means who is in knowledge.
Of Vedas.
So he is in
Yeah,
knowledge
it says-
means.
Kanishta, they have little knowledge, means they have little knowledge about Krishna. When you talk about in terms of Krishna, little knowledge,
Yeah.
but they have knowledge of Vedas or three modes and other.
Well, they have knowledge, they are liberated, they have knowledge that I'm not this body. This is illusory energy. I don't want to be entangled. I am spiritual being. I am Brahma. So they have this understanding knowledge. They may not know the Shastras, but it's natural for them that they're not attracted to anything. They're liberated, so they're in knowledge of who they are and what the word is. In that way, they are called Gyani. All right, I think we spend a lot more time than what is required.
So, you have said inquisitive, right?
Yes.
Jnani is knowledge, but I didn't capture what Artha and Artha.
Artha means they're looking for money.
Well,
Well, example is Dhruv Maharaj. Artharthi means they're approaching out of distress, like Gajendra. So Gajendra also was very much entangled. Although he was a great servant, he was very entangled. He just offered a prayer. Faith is there, but it's like in distress he's calling out to the Lord. But then when he saw Vishnu, he became Uttamadhikari immediately. Okay, good. So what is Kanishtadhikari? What is Madhyamati? Uttamadhikari? What are the various kinds of Kanishtadhikari? Who is the best among the Kanishtadhikari? Clear?
Vidyasuri gave example for sailors because they are just listening out of inquisitiveness.
And they're asking questions.
Like maybe their goal is not to become a devotee or something like that.
No, their goal is towards spiritual life. They are eager, but they don't have clarity. How do we worship Krishna? Or tell us about the Lord. Who is Lord? What are his incarnations? What is the purpose of human form of life? They're inquisitive. Inquisitive. Okay? Then
pass with our chalo.
नहीं, एक मार्क के क्वेश्चन में हम लोग उतना समय बिता रहे हैं और जो 6 मार्क क्वेश्चन होंगे उसमें इतना समय बिता रहे हैं. So everything is in there, but you have to thoroughly read it, and you get full 15 minutes for that. Then what are the obstacles in sadhana bhakti? The obstacles is bhukti and mukti. Bhukti is material desire is an obstacle, and the desire for impersonal liberation. These are the two obstacles. And they are both compared to witches who haunt. Witches means even if you want Krishna, the material desire will constantly stick to the mind. You want this, you want this, you want this. Hey, leave me alone. Fine. For a few minutes, relax. You want this, you want this, you want this. So we are haunted by material desires. So that becomes an obstacle in sadhana bhakti. And the second obstacle is mukti is like that. But I think none of us have that haunted by mukti. But those who are haunted by mukti, they're like, Ham Brahmasmi, Ham Brahmasmi, Ham Brahmasmi. They keep on thinking like that. God does not have a form. They have very strong urge in that direction. So these are two main obstacles. Then how is mukti detrimental to bhakti? Mukti is very detrimental to bhakti. What does mukti refers here to? Impersonal liberation. It is very detrimental to bhakti. How? Yes, that.
I thought liberation was being with Krishna, not the incarnation.
Yeah, that's one of the liberation. But here what we are talking about is impersonal liberation. Okay. So how is mukti detrimental to bhakti? There are few quotes. All of them are very important. You may want to remember from Shastra, how is impersonal liberation detrimental to bhakti?
How many are there?
No, at least 4, 5.
4, 5.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a prayer by Bilva Mangal Thakur. He says they are all pure devotees prayers, and I am just reading various prayers. And you don't have to write exactly, but you may want to remember. He said that. He said that. He said that. Some feeling you may have. So Bilva Mangal Thakur says, Mukti is standing at my door, waiting to serve me, but I am not interested. You open the door, Mukti says, come. Bilva Mangal says, get lost. He's not interested. So this is one prayer. Uddhava says, devotees have no difficulty in achieving liberation. I don't desire that. I only desire to serve your lotus feet. What will they do after going to impersonal liberation? There is no Krishna there. But the devotee is so much attached to Krishna, he cannot think of not being with Krishna. So he is like, I don't want my peace and satisfaction, but I want you and I want to serve you. I don't want anything for myself. I cannot leave you. So their attraction to the personal form. Lord Kapila, a pure devotee never desires to become one with me. He himself is said to Mother Devahuti. They are only interested in hearing my glories. They are only interested in eternally serving me. Lord Kapila himself, who is the Lord himself is telling to his mother that my devotees are not interested in personal liberation. My devotees are not interested in opposed to serving me with love, in opposed to hearing from me. If you ask a devotee, what do you want? I'll give you freedom from material desire, or I'll give you serving Krishna. So a devotee doesn't want freedom from material desire or liberation, in opposed to serving Krishna. He wants to serve Krishna. Clear? Personal liberation gives you service. Impersonal liberation gives you freedom from entanglement, no service. A devotee hates that position. So that's why bhakti is mukti is like not at all desirable compared to bhakti. Bhakti is serving with devotion. Dhruv Maharaj, bliss of meditating on your lotus feet is far beyond Brahmananda. Brahmananda is the pleasure the soul experiences when he is liberated. And he is telling, when I meditate on your lotus feet is way more than just some impersonal liberation. Vritrasura, I don't desire to rule Dhruva Loka or Brahma Loka. I don't desire yogic siddhis or liberation. All I desire is your association in eternal service. He's telling Dhruva Loka, not interested. Brahma Loka, not interested. Yogic siddhis, you can fly in the air, you can walk on the water, not interested. All right, liberation, not interested. What do you want? I want to serve you eternally. This is all. Actually, every pure devotee has this prayer that he rejects mukti in compared to the personal association and personal service to the Lord. Lord Shiva to Parvati, for pure devotees, hell, heaven, and liberation all the same. For they are only interested in serving me. This is there was one devotee, his name was Mahachitraketu. Chitraketu. He was cursed to go to hell. And he said, all right, I accept it. Then Parvati was very much surprised. Then Lord Shiva says, see, for them, hell or heaven or liberation is all the same. They don't distinguish. They're okay going anywhere as long as they have opportunity to serve the Lord. One time Prabhupada says, devotee asks, where are you going? Prabhupada says, I'm going to hell to spread the mission. Prabhupada says, some of my disciples will go to heaven and preach in heaven also. So they're only interested in serving Krishna, not in liberation. There are similar prayers. In the book, in Nectar of Devotion, we have prayers by all of them, but I have kept only few of them. Similar prayer by Prahlad, Gajendra, Indra, Nagapatnis, Hanuman. If you ask Hanuman, liberation, what will he say? Two. You ask him next to Lord Ram, serve Lord Ram. Jai Shri Ram. But you ask him, no Ram, liberation. Hanuman will beat you up actually. So that's how mukti is very detrimental to bhakti. Clear?
Any example from Shastra, right?
Yes.
Related to this?
Yes. I mean, just you should be able to shastrically prove bhakti and not mukti. And this is what nobody desires mukti, everybody desires bhakti, all pure devotees. That we should be able to. Yeah. Okay, then another thing is accidental sins are accounted for. No need of atonement. This is mystery of bhakti. Such devotee should be considered saintly.
So ये point कहाँ आता है?
ये point
किस reference में है?
Vaidhi Bhakti. So Vaidhi Bhakti is so powerful that while performing Vaidhi Bhakti, there may be obstacles of bhukti. And because of attachment to bhukti, bhukti is material desire, one may temporarily fall down, accidental sin. So bhakti give you a cushion. Even if you fall down, You don't get hurt.
How come Indra comes in this example?
Indra says to
Material desires.
that devotees don't want liberation, they don't want this, but unfortunately, I still have that desire. But he also knows that this is the only reality. So, okay, so clear how bhakti, if you are attached to liberation, is real detrimental. If you are attached to bhakti, you may accidentally fall down. But even if you fall down, Krishna says, consider them saintly, because gradually they will, and there is no need of atonement if you fall down. Just get up and keep walking. There is no reaction to it. Clear? That's a mystery of bhakti. Yes, question. How are we doing so far?
The obstacle bhakti mukti is done. This is the point sadhana bhakti ka point.
This is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, what are the obstacles? What if somebody falls down from those obstacles? How two obstacle bhukti and mukti? What happen if we act on bhukti? How mukti is detrimental? What is the qualification? So if somebody says, write an essay on sadhana bhakti. So write everything that we discussed, that's part of an essay. Bhukti means material desire. Material. So bhukti is just one point. Naturally, it will go away gradually by it. Bhava will awaken. But accidental fall down by bhukti, there is cushion there. That's a mystery of bhakti. Okay, so that's the end of most of it. Just we will discuss 64 angas, not discuss, read them. 64 angas of bhakti, and that's the end of 13 chapters. Huh? How many?
Angas do we need to write in exam?
64. No. Huh? The 64 angas more, that's all. So that's first 13 chapters. Then exam now. So after it's 7:03, 7:30 to 7:45. You prepare.
Only on 2 pages exam.
It's very easy.
It's good. It's not that bad. I thought maybe too much. Okay.
Huh?
Whatever we discussed, I will.
No, first,
64 angas, I think.
yeah. It's just very quick read. You don't have to remember most of things, but I won't get satisfaction. I mean, at least you read it once. This is what bhakti is. And then if you remember, don't remember, fine, my job is done, that I display to all of you. Okay. Accepting the shelter of lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master. This is what bhakti is. If you do these 64 things, your life will become perfect. Try to do all the 64. All right. Accept the shelter of lotus feet of bona fide spiritual master. We have recent acceptance of Rishabhanu Prabhu and Ram Shraddha Prabhu. Becoming initiated by the spiritual master and learning how to discharge devotional service from him. Serving the spiritual master and obeying his orders with faith and devotion. Serving the spiritual master and obeying his orders with faith and devotion. The footsteps of great acharyas under the direction of the spiritual master. Inquiring from the spiritual master how to advance in Krishna consciousness. Being prepared to give up anything material, that when we are engaged in the devotional service of Krishna, we must be prepared to give up something that we may not like to give up. And also we have to accept something that we may not like to accept. Residing in a sacred place of pilgrimage like Dwarka or Vrindavan, accepting only what is necessary and dealing within the material world as far as necessary, observing the fasting on Ekadashi, worshipping sacred trees like banyan tree and tulsi, of course. One should rigidly give up the company of non-devotees. One should not instruct a person who is not desirous of accepting devotional service. One should not be very enthusiastic about constructing costly temples or monasteries. One should not try to read too many books, nor should one develop the idea of earning his livelihood by lecturing on or professionally reciting Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. One should not be neglectful in ordinary dealings. One should not be under the spell of lamentation in loss or jubilation in gain. One should not disrespect the demigods. One should not give unnecessary trouble to any living entity. One should carefully avoid the various offenses in chanting the holy name of the Lord and in worshipping the deity in the temple. One should be very intolerant toward the blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna or his devotees. One should decorate the body with tilak. Marking such tilak, sometimes one may write Hare Krishna on the body. One should accept flowers and garlands that have been offered to the deity and the spiritual master and put them on one's body. One should learn to dance before the deity. One should learn to bow down immediately upon seeing the deity or the spiritual master. As soon as one visits a temple of Lord Krishna, one must stand up. When the deity is being borne for a stroll, like taken out of the temple or for a walk in the street, a devotee should immediately follow the procession. A devotee must visit a Vishnu temple at least once or twice every day, morning and evening. One must circumambulate the temple building at least 3 times. One must worship the deity in the temple according to the regulative principles. One must render personal service to the deities. One must sing. One must perform sankirtan. One must chant. One must offer prayers. One must recite notable prayers. There are 3 kinds of notable prayers. One is Samprarthanatmika prayer. Samprarthanatmika means you all can write this down if you like to. One must recite notable prayers. The first prayer is Samprarthanatmika, which is offering prayers with feelings. An example of Kunti, and like there is one prayer by Rupa Goswami comes from Padma Puran, where the devotee prays, my Lord, just how a boy is attracted to a girl and vice versa naturally. Likewise, let I be attracted to you spontaneously. Nobody has to tell them, here's a boy, here's a girl, get attracted. It's like spontaneous. Likewise, we want the moment we think of Krishna, we want to be spontaneously attracted. So this is
Atmika, the two words are combined.
yeah, Samprarthanatmika. If you don't remember this word, you can say offering prayers with feelings is one of the prayer. And how Kunti Devi is offering feelingly offering prayer to Krishna. Krishna, please stay, don't leave. E- If the cost of your staying is problems, let the problems come to me. This is like feelingly she is offering prayers to Krishna. Then other is Dainya Bodhika. Dainya Bodhika is humbly in humble submission. Like Rupa Goswami, when he first met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, Neecha karma, neecha kaj. I am very neech. My karma is neech. My jati is neech. My everything about me is very degraded. And Narottam Das Thakur also says, Mosama patita prabhu na pai beara. You cannot find anybody more degraded than me. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, yeah. So many prayers is like they take a very humble position, consider themselves very low. So this is like they are submitting themselves with humbleness. This is Dainya Bodhika. Then the third is Lalasamai. Lalasamai means desiring a particular perfection. Like Narottam Das Thakur says, Radha Krishna Pranamura. Later on, he says, when will I do chamra to you? When that day will be mine? When will I put garland around your neck? And Srila Prabhupada also says, when that day will be mine, when I will roll in the dust in the early morning of Vrindavan. So this is a Lalasamai. Lalasa means, Lalasa, Lalasa, like strong desire. So Lalasamai Prarthana means they have a strong desire to serve Krishna in a particular way. Among the 3, this is the best. Yeah. With humble submission and with deep desire to serve Krishna in a particular way. Like Lalasa, like offering one devotee prays, I just want to offer chamra. And he just want to eternally see the beautiful faces, behold the beautiful faces of Radha and Krishna and offer chamra. And every day he's meditating, he's just like, I'm offering chamra to Radha and Krishna. They are sitting on a jeweled throne and just want to offer chamra.
Just wants Nimai to come and say.
What was the English word for Lalsa?
Lalasamai, it's not written, means with deep, strong desire to serve Krishna in a particular way. When we become very advanced, then our eternal service to Krishna is revealed to us. And so this is the most advanced stage of prayers. In the beginning, it's more like because we are not realized and we have anarthas. It's more like Daina Bodhika or Sampradha. It's a song by Narottam Das Thakur. All right, good on this. Clear. Then the next is one must taste Mahaprasad. I think everybody does that. One must drink Charnamrit. One must smell the incense and flowers offered to the deity. One must touch the lotus feet of the deity, not in the temple unless you're in pujari clothes and clean. One must see the deity with great devotion. One must offer arati at different times. One must hear about the Lord and his pastimes from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. One must pray to the deity for his mercy. One should remember the deity. One should meditate upon the deity. One should render some voluntary service. One should think of the Lord as one's friend. One should offer everything to the Lord. One should offer Lord a favorite article such as food or a garment. One should take all kinds of risk and perform all endeavors for Krishna's benefit. In every condition, one should be a surrendered soul. One should pour water on the tulsi tree. One should regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam and other literature. One should live in a sacred place like Mathura, Vrindavan, or Dwarka. One should offer service to Vaishnavas, devotees. One should arrange.
He doesn't know all this.
Yes. One should arrange one's devotional service according to one's means. In the month of Kartik, October, November, one should make arrangements for special verses, for special service. It means do something special on Kartik. During Janmashtami, one should observe a special service. In Janmashtami, do something special for Krishna. One should do whatever is done with great care and devotion for the deity. And
Is referring to the person that in month of Kartik, we
Yeah.
should make arrangements in Janmashtami.
these are the
It's
60.
not specific.
Yeah. Spoken by Mahaprabhu actually.
This is
And
a-
chapter number, this is chapter number 6. The chapter, see the sixth chapter describe all 64, and chapter number 7 to chapter number 13 describes each one in detail. So 64 angas are described in detail in 7 chapters. Today we are not discussing that. All of them is up to you to read. I'm just sharing the names. So by no means this can replace our reading of Nectar of Devotion.
Srila Prabhupada has classes. There are 13 lectures by Srila Prabhupada on Nectar of Devotion. Everything comes in there. So
You all are requested to.
you can
Yeah.
it. If you download it, 1 to 13 in Vrindavan, Prabhupada has given all this.
Maharaj बोलेंगे. Yes, Prabhu. So now it's 15 minutes quiz. Chalo, we have very less time. Please, we have only 1 hour to finish, and before that we have to write the exam, check the papers, review also. So we'll go. This is the last slide for today. After this, it's preparation time. It's 7:15 now. One should relish the pleasure of Srimad Bhagavatam reading among devotees and not among outsiders. One should associate with devotees who are considered more advanced. One should chant the holy name of the Lord. One should live in the jurisdiction of Mathura. Okay, there is one more slide. Okay, these are the 64 angas. Good. Everybody understood? I mean,
Everything. Whatever we do, everything comes into that. Offering flowers, smelling, there are like putting everything. Chanting.
but this slide is more important. Remember this slide is important. So just this one. So 5 are considered most potent. Most potent means among these 64. If you cannot do all 64, do this 5 every day. Then you will very quickly attain perfection. All right. The first one is worship the deity every day. That's why we want devotees to get Brahman initiated. And we have so much service for Radhavan Vihari. Then hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Associate with the devotees every day. Chant the holy names every day. And why chant the holy names? You may want to remember some references from scriptures. Somebody says, why should I chant Krishna's name? So can you give some references from scriptures that why you should chant? So there is one Kali Kale Naam Rupa Krishna Avatar means Krishna has descended in this age of Kali in the form of his name. There is another which is Hare Naam Eva Kevalam means in this age of Kali. Yeah, in this age of Kali, holy name is the only way. There is no other way to attain the goal. Gati Ranyata. Then Kali Santran Upanishad, the conversation between Brahma and Narad Muni, where Narad Muni asked Brahma, how can people become free from this age of Kali, from the kalmash of Kali, the mal effects of Kali? Then Brahma says, wants to chant the name of the Lord. Narada says, there are so many names of the Lord, which name should one chant? Then Brahma says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he says, these 16 names one should chant. And one will not find any better means to remove the kalmash of Kali than chanting of these 16 names in the entire Vedas. Good? So please remember these quotes.
ये कोड आपके पीपीटी में है नहीं है मंगलारती
So ये कोड पीपीटी में नहीं है. आपको कोड तो याद करना है. आप बस इतना बता दो, ब्रह्मा ने नारद मुनि से ये बोला. You're okay.
Can we give reference which remember हमें जो याद है
या आएगा ना उसमें. कलौताधारी कीर्तन श्रीमद् भागवतम says. He says in Satyuga.
Garuda Puran or Yamaraj says to Yamaduta in Garuda Puran Yamaraj the 16 words.
Yeah, you can say that. Any reference you can say. You should be able to corroborate Hare Krishna Mahamantra and chanting of Krishna's name from no at least 3-4.
Hare Nam.
हाँ एक हो गया और 3 और देख लो यहाँ पे लिखे हुए हैं बस आपको क्विकली 3 और 4.
ब्रह्मा ने क्या बोला आपको?
ब्रह्मा ने बोला these 16 names will free one from all the all the effects of Kali will be freed. And there is no better way in all the scriptures, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate, than these 16 names. Yeah, it will work. In Kali Yoga, do Sankirtan Yagya. And then there is another in Bhagavatam, which comes in 12th canto, which says if you're in Satya Yoga, you do meditation. Treta Yoga, you do Yagya. Dwapar Yoga, you do deity worship. And Kali Yoga, you do Sankirtan. Then another is this Kali Yoga is full of faults, but there is one great quality that Asti Eko Mahaguna Kirtana Deva Krishna Mukta Sangha Paramrajit. If you do Kirtan of Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramrajit, immediately you will attain the highest perfection, become liberated from. Yes. Deity worship for Dwapar Yoga. So these are few references, and there are many more. Rupa Goswami writes a big, and it's unlimited, the glories of the holy name. But at least reproduce 3 or 4, proving why it's this Bhakti Shastri exam and course is not. It's for us to become preachers. If somebody says you should be able to speak right on Shastra, then it will have some value. That's our own benefit. All right, then live in Mathura. Living in Mathura. This is what are the 64 Angas? If you don't remember, fine. What are the 5 most important among these 64? Why are they most important? If you just do these 5.
Hearing chanting association. Mathura was.
So he's telling here, chant, associate, Mathura Vas and deity worship.
A, B, C.
आप सबको चिट कोड बता दो कैसे रिमेम्बर कर. नहीं deity worship है.
Deity worship है.
वो बोले D for deity worship. Good. So remember A, B, C, D. A for association, B for Bhagavatam, C for chanting, D for deity worship, and remember that live in Krishna Community Center.
Internally living.
This is Mathura. Or eternal award of Lord. These are the 5 most important. Okay, so if you can remember these, this slide is not in the notes, and the 3 kind of prayers is not in the notes. You remember those, and the document I am sharing, you revise those, and then we'll have exam. It's 7:21 right now. How about we have exam at 7:40 till 8. And 8 to 8:15 we have cross-check exam. 8:15 you all are ready to go home with 13 chapters. Okay. So I'll email you. You will put in a group.
Six characteristics of PDS. उसके पहले इसका समझो।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. All the to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji, this is Shamala Preeti Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.